Sheree at the Northfield Public Library, and for this week's story time, we will be reading the story of a friendship yarn by Olga Demidova. Have you guys ever gotten into an argument with a friend? Ever disagreed with someone? I think Badger and Porcupine get into an argument too, but let's see how they solve it. Badger and Porcupine met under the walnut tree and shared a pot of tea like they did every morning. As the day warmed up, Porcupine helped Badger rake the leaves, and Badger helped Porcupine stir a big pot of apple butter. Wow, these friends sure help each other. Badger sniffed the air. Winter weather is coming. That's a cold cup of tea, sighed Porcupine. I'll have to gather firewood. This is my last log. Don't worry, said Badger. I'll help you. You are such a dear friend, said Porcupine. The two friends walked into the woods to gather logs. Porcupine took the high trail. Badger took the low one. A peddler's cart jingle-jangled down the road. Here's the cart. A ball of yarn tumbled out and rolled and rolled and unrolled until a bright colored string of yarn stretched out the length of the woods. Porcupine picked up the end of the yarn. Far away, Badger picked up the other end. Come back, called Badger. You lost your yarn, called Porcupine. Keep it, said the peddler, waving merrily. Don't have time to stop. Oh, they got some free yarn. Let's see what they do with it. Badger looked at the yarn. I can pick up logs later. I'll use this yarn to knit a backpack for picnics with Porcupine. Badger ran home, jumped over a pile of books, and dove under her bed for knitting needles. A backpack for a friend. That's nice. Porcupine looked at her yarn. Well, fill my sugar bowl. Who needs logs? This is exactly what I need to make a lovely tablecloth for tea time with Badger. She dashed home and pulled her knitting needles out of her tidy sewing basket. It looks like both friends are making each other a gift. How nice. Clickety-click, snickety-snick went Badger's needles, and when she had only 3 stitches to go, the whole thing unraveled. Oh no! Floop, 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 floop. Clickety-click, snickety-snick went Porcupine's needles, but when she had only 3 stitches to go, the whole thing unraveled. What are they going to do? Porcupine followed the yarn to Badger's house. I think you have my yarn, said Porcupine. This is my yarn, said Badger. The peddler gave it to me. Well, flatten my cake. You're wrong, said Porcupine. The peddler gave it to me. She stumped back to her house. Cookie crumbles, said Porcupine. I'll make something for myself, a tail for my kite. Clickety-click, snickety-snick. Floop, 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 floop. Oh, a rain cloud, said Badger. I'll knit a hat to keep myself warm and dry. Too bad for Porcupine. Clickety-click, snickety-snick. Floop, 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 floop. So they went from making gifts for each other to making stuff for themselves. A net to catch walnuts, said Porcupine, and I won't share any. Well, that's not fair. Clickety-click, snickety-snick. Floop, 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 floop. Look what happened to the walnuts. A hammock for me, and just me, said Badger. Clickety-click, snickety-snick. Floop, 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 floop. The hammock came unraveled. A tent to hide in, said Porcupine, so I never have to see Badger again. Clickety-click, snickety-snick, floop, floop, floop. No, their plans aren't working. A sail for my boat, said Badger, so I can sail far, far away from Porcupine. Clickety-click, snickety-snick, floop, floop. Badger pounded on Porcupine's door. Give me back my yarn. It's mine, cried Porcupine. Mine, yelled Badger. You're not my friend anymore, said Porcupine. I don't want to be your friend, and I don't want to be your neighbor, said Badger. Oh no. I can fix this, said Porcupine. She went to her sewing basket and cut the yarn in half. I'm leaving and never coming back, yelled Badger. Holding her yarn, Badger ran into the woods. Hours passed. Porcupine huddled by her empty fireplace. A snowstorm whistled down the chimney. Badger is my friend, and she will be cold and lonely out there. I have to help her. Porcupine pulled out her knitting needles. She headed into the cold, dark night. She's worried about her friend. Badger hunkered down in an old log and worried. It's getting colder every minute, and Porcupine is out of firewood. She'll be freezing. She's my friend. I have to help her. Badger pulled out her knitting needles. She headed into the cold, dark night. Do you think they'll find each other? Let's see. Clickety-click, snickety-snick, click, snick, woof. You see where they're holding? Porcupine and Badger ran straight into each other. Well, polish my silver, said Porcupine. I found you. You're safe. Put on the sweater I knit for you. Quick, said Badger. It's freezing out here. Put on the sweater I knit for you. Porcupine and Badger admired their new sweaters. I'm sorry we fought, said Porcupine. Me too, said Badger. They made up. Another hugging. Will you come over for toast and apple butter, said Porcupine. Love to, said Badger, picking up a bunch of logs. You're going to need these. The two friends headed home together in the night that didn't feel so very cold or very dark after all. I really enjoyed this story, and I hope you did too. And I hope you learned the lesson that both Badger and Porcupine had to learn, is that you should always share and cherish your friends. See you next time.